you on Friday, right outside this screen, I think. And I hadn't watched the movie. And by sitting shy, I came up to you and I pretended that I'd seen it. And I wanted a piece of art. Purely but I think I was too happy when I was saying it because it's an intense piece of art. So now I want to say it with intensity. That is
very good. Thank you.
And my question is that
But you'll have to see it once more, then only you'll answer.
Oh,
नवजोत को मैं कमीशन भिजवा दूंगा यार.
Okay, ma'am. Quickly the question. Yeah.
My question is that your characters, like the Jordan or the Veera, they have issues with society. What are your issues with society as a person?
See, not as intense, but I think of the same thought. Yeah, there's a certain, like, I've always felt that when you rock the boat, you suddenly become, anyone going the other way is suddenly the convict. Anyone having a fresh thought, if you don't walk in the same straight line, you're somehow supposed to either be guilty, which I have been, or somehow wrong, yeah, so it's easier, and I see that tendency in myself also, that you brush it under the carpet, let it be, and don't rock the boat. Behave.
The dialogues that you have in this movie is very less, and not a lot of movies has the credibility.
So इसमें तो dialogue का award नहीं मिलने वाला.
I was feeling कि dialogues है भी कि नहीं, you have given any credits or not to the dialogue guy. But not many movies have the credibility to attract, hold on to the audience when you have such a less number of dialogues. Did you at any time feel that the movie could have fallen apart if you didn't have?
I knew that this was a risky film. I knew that. I knew it's a risky film because it was,
So subtle. It's
yeah,
just scenes that are speaking.
and also there are many points of obvious drama which I didn't want to go into. I thought छोड़ दे इसको, मतलब let's just fly. I know that, like, in the second half there are so many scenes. What is she doing? Why is that scene necessary where she climbs on the rock? Why is that scene necessary where she is walking with the flock and saying that यहाँ मेरे को घर बनाना है? मतलब ज़रूरी कुछ भी नहीं था, but ज़रूरी तो फिल्म देखना भी नहीं होता है. So I went that way, yaar. I wanted to just.
At any point in time?
No, I've made this film to get rid of many fears. That was the reason of making this film.
Yes, ma'am. You go ahead, then Kuldeep, then Jahan, then I'll come back to all three. Yeah, ma'am.
So first of all, I want to congratulate you for making such a nice film. Secondly, I love the way you do this casting of side characters, like the fringe characters. They are really bang on. Like you actually put in thought to that. Coming to the question, how much of you was in Highway? Like you need to live, you said you need to live an actor, make a film. How much of you was there in this?
It was more aspiration, I think. It was more.
You're not going to make jam.
I'm not going to make jam.
Yeah, someday. No.
Maybe I will. Yeah, I don't know.
You will still not like it. Other people will.
I don't know how much. I think that in terms of thought and spirit there was, but in terms of semblance of life there wasn't that much.
When are you making a film which is not a love story?
I don't know. I'll try to make a film that's not a love story, but
वो रामू ने already बना दी. रामू ने already बना दी not a love story.
Okay, the first.
Story बनेगी.
Okay, and
That
female.
Yeah,
from
which
his
is
film
your
or any of the film?
Yeah,
any
your film.
यार ये तो पता नहीं. Which is my favorite नहीं कह सकते यार.
On top of the mind. anything.
Like quickly.
अभी तो वीरा ही आने वाली है ना.
Okay.
That she's on top of the mind. हाँ जी सर.
Veera as a character reality or do you think it's like imagination?
Is it based on somebody or?
It's not based on anybody. It is more.
मैंने किसी को देखा है just
नहीं कोई exact तो ऐसा नहीं है. कोई exact ऐसा बंदी नहीं है.
Yeah, Jahan. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I have two small questions. One thing that I think slightly bothered me in the film was the childhood flashbacks. I mean, for the first example, the Alia scene where she confesses to what has happened.
Yeah.
I thought it kind of, I would have rather just seen her talk. I think it ruined the thing for me. And also visually, I mean, the Randeep childhood thing, there was that tone on it, and I mean, there was that old cinema reel kind of thing on it. So was that, I mean, why was that? Was something you intended, or are you not happy with the way it was done? That. And the other thing is, okay, the first scene where Alia, she comes out, she says she's feeling nauseous, and she comes out, and she starts, and a couple of parts she kind of talks to herself almost, right? And it almost seems that some part she's trying to it seems like you are justifying her actions to us through her words.
Smart. Like she says, I should be tense right now. I am
मैं
tense.
क्यों हूँ? Or more than that, the second scene when वो छुप जाती है truck में, and then she says पता नहीं, but then she carries on saying कि पता नहीं क्यों ये वो. I mean, she goes on speaking for a little more than that. So was there some attempt in a way to justify her actions, or is that how?
That's a very smart question. I don't know. I hope not. That's all I can say.
Okay.
But I know what you mean.
There are many things conveniently done. I also felt.
Could be. Could be.
Mira found her freedom of sanity at the end. Hardy would have been alive.
हाँ. तो?
What would their relationship be?
Yeah. So let me put it the other way. Bharti, by dying, really set her free. More free than she wanted, perhaps. But had that not been the fate, then the sense of freedom that comes in the end might not have been there, because pata nahi. So I feel that he dies, and it's tragic that he dies. But the fact is that for in like a more mature thought, she really gets free. Yeah.
But what for Bharti? If we would have been alive, so what for Bharti?
Jail.
देखो क्या है, he's murdered 3 people. Okay. There is no justification. It's not as though he murdered them for any good reason.
Self-defense or some other.
Right. Go self-defense. He just murdered 3 people. He knows he's confounded. He can only see darkness in front. There is no light at the end of that tunnel. So the only thing that could have happened is that at least he resolves it, he cries it out, and he gets a few moments of tenderness. After that, it would have been a rigorous time at the prison. और वो ऐसा कोई बंदा तो है नहीं कि जिसको I know, even very very affluent people have to go through shit when they get caught, as we all know. उसका तो क्या ही हाल होता है. So he knew that his life was going to be tragic. Somehow this bitter pill makes it perhaps even better,
हम नेचर को काफ़ी क्लोज से देखते हुए आए हैं, और इस फिल्म में नेचर को काफ़ी पास से देखते हैं, और इंडिया बहुत ब्यूटीफुल दिखता है. तो इसके पीछे क्या स्पेशल रीज़न है आपको जो कनेक्ट करता है, नेचर इतना अच्छा दिखता है? कुछ ऐसा कोई रीज़न जो आपको नेचर को ले आता है, नेचर दिखाने को मजबूर कर देता है इंडिया का?
पता नहीं है, मतलब जस्ट नेचर सुंदरता पसंद है शायद.
मुझे पर्टिकुलरली आपकी फिल्म में नेचर काफ़ी अच्छा दिखता है, लगता है कि हाँ इंडिया ग्रेट है, लोग बाहर क्यों जाते हैं?
ये घूमते बहुत है ना इसलिए.
हाँ, मुझे बड़ा खुद पर्सनली बहुत मजा आता है.
तो एक सवाल छोटा सा और है.
Punch him.
I'm standing over here. One sec. I'm standing over here. This is like a human being with the good angel and the bad angel. Both my shoulders.
Shakti का संतुलन sir. Okay, but yes, go ahead.
A lot of the movie is visibly spontaneous and improvised.
Yeah, that's true.
So in that cut scene when she has run away at night and she falls down and you can see her back, and it has bits of salt in it and it seems merged with the stars. I don't know, I imagined like that. Was it even a bit like intentional, or it just happened? Was that happened?
Honestly, it just happened. We have shot that sequence in the day where she runs in the salt pan. That is Sambar in Rajasthan. So we've shot in the day and then CG did to become night. So आप जो कह रहे हो, जो आपको अच्छा लग रहा है, that's actually an inaccuracy. Sometimes it works, yeah.
मुझे पूछना था कि आपकी हर फिल्म में हीरोइन जब वो बाहर जाती है, घूमने जाती है, या सोचना था मैं आयशा टके गोवा चली गई, तब उसे पता चला कि who she is. यहाँ पे आलिया वहाँ चली गई, तब she realizes, oh, I'm this. I also have strength, I can also fight the world. So do you really think that girls are like that, कि ऐसे बाहर जाके खुल जाती है? I feel
ओके, देखिए आप मुझसे बहुत यंग हैं. मैंने अपने बचपन में शायद ये चीज़ एक्सपीरियंस की थी कि लड़कियों पे इम्पोजिशन ज़्यादा होता है, ये करना है, ये नहीं करना है. जब तक वो अपने घर में और अपने समाज में होती हैं, उनमें बहुत सारी बंदिशें उन पर लागू रहती हैं. तो जब वो अपने संदर्भ से बाहर निकल जाती हैं, तब वो एक आज़ादी को महसूस कर सकती हैं. तब उनको फिर रोल प्लेइंग नहीं करनी पड़ती कि ये पहनो, ऐसे करो, इस तरह से बिहेव करो. बाहर जा कर के वो खुला महसूस करती हैं, तब वैसे वातावरण में खुद को डिस्कवर करना आसान हो जाता है.
So sir, will we see a girl who will be like out and out from the home itself?
Can be.
And not going, you know?
Can be, yeah. That's how it should be.
So will you be like making a film like that in future?
I'll keep that in mind.
I'll quickly take one Twitter question. Somebody has asked, would you have cast Aisha Takia if she was acting for this film?
I initially, the first time I wanted to make it, I did want to cast Aisha Takia for this role.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's
another Twitter question. One guy wanted to know, Yashpal, that why is it that जब वो मर जाता है तो वो 3 बारी क्यों वो शॉट आता है उसको उसके पास आने का? Somebody wanted to know.
क्योंकि मैंने मणि रत्नम की फिल्में बहुत देखी है यार. मुझे लगा कि जब मैं ऐसी पिक्चर बनाऊंगा ना, मैं भी 3 बार लाऊंगा.
मणि रत्नम ट्रिब्यूट.
Sumit, your question.
How much did the film change from the script to the edit? Because
Lots.
It's almost like organic. It's almost like a docu at time.
Yeah.
Did it change or did you write very little?
You have to raise the hand.
What happened is that I had a very basic script, and जो भी basic था वो भी shooting में change हो रहा था. और by the time we actually, as I have said in many interviews also, that very often I have finished shooting the scene and then written the script. And the script was only written to tell Aarti, the editor, that this is what this scene is, because she'd get totally confused otherwise. So yeah, great deal. So when we came on to the edit, it was definitely not what we had set out to make.
That reminds me, did it change just because of the places you went to or because of the people Alia and Randeep were?
Both. And also because of me. Also because of me. Alia and Randeep, because they lived that life, were going through that experience in reality, had a lot to contribute. And it is not as though I gave them the responsibility of becoming the script writers, but observing them, I suggested to them at the last moment what they could speak or how they could behave, to carry forward the essence of the same scene that I had intended, but in a more natural manner. The other thing is that when I was sitting somewhere else in Bombay and writing a scene, to the point that I actually was on the hilltop in Kaza, I had also changed. I also saw some things. So I tried to include that into the script, that change.
Was it shot linearly or?
It was shot completely linearly. That was the benefit. Otherwise, we would never be able to
Did you try to
take it all in.
experiment on the edit to make it non-linear like Rockstar?
No. See, all the scripts like Love Aajkal and Rockstar, which in some ways are non-linear, were written non-linear.
Okay, sir. Yeah, you go ahead.
So there's this scene where she's sitting on the rock.
That's my favorite scene in the film.
I just love that scene. I was just very curious as to, was that a one-take scene or didn't you, I mean, those emotions? Actually,
One take. In fact, what had happened is we were on the way to Aru. We were waiting for the sun to set to shoot that that scene where those ladies are singing. You know, Begum Jan and all they're singing. We were ahead of Pahalgam in Kashmir, and there was this river flowing, and I was like really getting attracted. And there was that rock, and I wanted to go up there. It was very dangerous, and Alia wanted to see whether I'd be able to go. And I went, and then I thought, Alia, you can also go. Then I said, oh, wait a minute, let's do this. We have extra time. So, because I knew she's never been on a rock like that. And she's living that life of Veera. You know, she's going through that. So I said, okay, let's see if you can climb. We didn't know whether she'd be able to climb. Let's see if she can climb, and let's be ready. So this is the shot we'll take. Just hold her in frame. Anil held her in frame and got the basic shot in, and the brief really was that go through the story and like love yourself. Go there and take that in, because when you go there, something happens. So that at the knowledge of what has happened to her in her story would create something I thought, maybe not, otherwise we'll not use it. But it worked.
I think it's curious because the exhilaration.
Yeah.
Just see that.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am, in the corner, and then sir, you. Yeah.
Hi sir, this is Rita from Congratulations. So my question is regarding the costume styling of your movie.
Superb question.
I've been like fan of your like costume styling and everything. So I just want to know whether you come up with the ideas or your costume stylist who give you like the preferences of the costumes.
See, Aki worked on this film. He was the stylist, and he and I worked very closely. So obviously, I give him a general brief. I don't tell him exactly what to pick, but he, I said that okay, this is how it's going to be. So then he started picking things. But what had happened is that we went on the journey without a costume patty. We had some backup options which we never used. We picked up clothes on the way because it was so organic, and since we were going linear, as he pointed out, we were actually crossing Rampur. So now I thought that Aki and I thought that if she's going to be going into the snow mountains, where is she going to buy clothes from? Not from GK in Delhi, but from Rampur. So she'll be buying a fake North Face jacket because that's what's available over there. And she'll be buying this thing which she can wear, etc., etc. So we were actually buying at those shops. So Noor Mahal mein wo jo scene hai, where she wo ghagra pehen ke aa jati hai, dented, and that we bought in in thereabouts. Yeah. So it was like that. We were actually progressively shopping and going.
Yes, sir.
बस सर मैं कॉन्ट्रैक्ट से करना चाहता हूँ बाई चांस मैंने ये जो भी आप मूवी बता रहे हैं सारी देखी है जब आजकल और ये जब भी मैं और देन रॉकस्टार और बाई चांस आज भी जा रहा हूँ आपसे मुलाकात हुई
Thank you, sir.
It was all the great movies.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir, in corner, go ahead.
Sir, I have a lot of questions, but one question I want to ask you: in your last few films, Love Aajkal, Rockstar, and this one idea which I really find interesting is the idea of home.
Home.
Yeah. In all these films, more than the love story angle, it's a character that displaced. In Rockstar, Jordan wants to go home. He goes and looks at his home away from a distance. In this Bhatti Breaks on, he actually looks at a home which he probably will never have. Also in Love Aajkal. So is there
How in Love Aajkal?
in Love Aajkal, character is displaced. Seb is away from, he's living that house which he breaks down at the end of the film in America. Because he's very lonely in that house.
I don't think it's that applicable in Love Aajkal, but I do know what you mean from these two. Yeah, man, I don't know. Yeah, I feel that too.
Like they travel so much, but at the end, what they find in that house with these people who become their house.
You know, there is this song of Simon Garfunkel about what home is, Home is different things for different people. And you can have a physical one. I think I like that shot in Rockstar where Jordan is, although I have taken that shot, but still I feel now it is somebody else's film. But where he's standing and looking at what is home for him? Maybe that's the sense. He doesn't have that. But maybe when he sees this girl, he feels a sense of home with her.
Okay, yes, go ahead.
So I always felt this, that when the characters are going in the journey, so is there like a dreamlike quality that then suddenly it goes back and there's this reality? So the characters are like in cardboard cutouts, and when these characters are going this internal kind of spiritual kind of journey, is there anything, even the visuals look a bit like that to me. So is there anything that of that sort?
So you're saying that in the home in Delhi, it's all cardboard?
To me, yes.
Yeah, that's true actually. It's very unidimensional. It is not explored by the story in many ways. We don't know any layer. We just see them as cardboards. Yeah, that's true. Which is why you don't.
But the dreamlike quality in the journey, that's what is.
Yeah.
So is that there?
It is kind of like intended, yeah. So that you kind of offset one from the other.
Yeah. Also, Mahabir, I remember in an interview said that it reminds me of the character of Hanuman. So this is Hanuman's figure that was hanging from that. So was that deliberate?
Deliberate, yeah.
Okay,
Mahabir, Hanuman is also Mahabir, no?
Okay, I want to ask about the folk songs you included in this.
Yeah.
Like, how did that happen? Like, like Salman Khan and Begum Jahan, right? Like you intended them to पहले से उनसे बात किया थी मतलब कि
रास्ते में बात किया, यानी कि I remember that we were in Delhi. We were going to leave for Haryana and Rajasthan. We were shooting Rajasthan portions. We were staying in Gurgaon. That is the time when I was talking to my friends about Manganiyar musicians who we can meet on the way, and I didn't know what to do with them. I thought let them come. So Sawan Khan को हमने YouTube पे देखा. We contacted him, and he came, and we thought, okay, so we'll be crossing this area in Bikaner. Can he come there? Let him just come. Let's see what happens. And we included that. Similarly, when we were reaching Kashmir, I knew that this is not going to be the normal Kashmiri Kashmir. It will be the Gujar Kashmir. It will be the Shepherd Kashmir, which is the upper reaches. They speak in a different language. And so Begum Jan is a singer of some repute over there, and she lives in Bandipur, which is quite a distance from Srinagar. So we came to know, then we called her to Srinagar, then we sat with her and she sang some songs, and फिर पता चला कि ठीक है हम वहाँ पे एक scene करेंगे. So it was all developing on the way. Yeah,
Also,
the script was open to it.
There was a different version of Puja playing on the radio.
Right, right.
So like how was that?
That was always intended. So the scene in the film was that the tonk है ना? हाँ, that's Pradeep Nagar playing tonk. Just stand up and show yourself, please. And so then his character, while in Ajmer, the lane of Ajmer, when he's walking with Bhati, so he's supposed to be a little bit of a music type person. So he picks up a CD. वहाँ वो बात कर रहा होता है कि नया कलाम है, पुराना कलाम है, कुछ ऐसी बातें होती है अजमेर में गली में. तो he picks up a CD, which they are playing when in Sambar, sitting outside. So that is the music that she's hearing. And it somehow enters the psyche of the film, so to speak. So that gets projected in Sunit's song. Before that, it is just a song playing on CD.
This is like a different treatment. The one we hear on the radio.
Totally.
Kawali, it's more like Kawali, and the Sunit's version is
More like a
bhajan.
just a bhajan, a song. There's not like, I discovered one thing this time working with Rahman sir, that a devotional Indian song for us is very different if it is a qawwali vis-a-vis a bhajan, but actually in the formatting and the music making of it, it's not that different. So given the different words, like what the words that we've used, and then Wasim is here and Tahira is here. They are from the family of Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti. They live in Ajmer. Dekha yaar, please stand up and. So जैसे कि मोइनुद्दीन चिश्ती के लिए उस वक्त अमीर खुसरो ने लिखा था कृपा करो महाराज. Correct. So we have deliberately written कृपा दृष्टि हम पे भी हो महाराजा. So it's like a tribute to that. And so like how Khusro used to use Hindavi words vis-a-vis Persian words, and sometimes mix it with Persian words also. That's what the treatment. So since the words are very Hindi, कृपा दृष्टि हम पे भी हो महाराजा, अनगिनत चिंताओं ने घेरा, इस तरह की, so then that in a devotional sense with Indian instrument sounds like a bhajan. It will sound like a bhajan.
So at the end, it's a very nice, bright feeling with the song that comes in, and everything else we hear before the death is great, but there's a sense of constraint, there's a sense of contraction. So the question is like, is she happy because of getting out of the family? Or is she off because she's not supposed to? So doesn't it constrain her again in ways? So was it deliberate that you?
I think the fact that she's standing on her feet, she knows where she is. For better or for worse, she recognizes the demons around her. There is nothing that's going to spring up to her from some bush. She feels a certain sense of openness while standing on that valley, which is why that song, I think, like I'm not responsible for it, but uska jo sur hai wo, it starts only there. So Joy is a very promising music director. His film Banana, Sajid is directing, is going to be out very soon. Very, I've got my money on Joy and Sajid.
Thank you.
And he's a big admirer of Rahman sir's music.
Everyone.
What did you think of the music of this film, Joy, very honestly?
It's very nice. Actually, I hadn't seen too much of this on trailers, and because I wanted to watch it like this.
Okay.
And since you'd mentioned on one of your conversations that you went along with the movie, shot it as it was, went along with the story, picked up things. So obviously,
the
I
music
thought
was not recorded while we were shooting mostly. It was more thought and more like hints.
it exactly blends into what it is, and I think he just went again beyond what we were expecting, and it's just brilliant.
Yeah, we
Just
tried to play
everything
with.
falls into place when you watch the movie.
Yeah, I think that was the attempt.
When I watched it on YouTube, I didn't have a sense of the Ali song, you know.
Huh.
As a song, it was great, but right now it just fits like perfect pieces of a puzzle. It just comes together. Just a movie.